Hello YouTube, this is the Urinal of Justice here, with my inaugural video for this channel. So, what I've got going on here is a Pokemon Showdown battle, OU tier. OU's still kind of forming, all the tiers are still kind of just forming. But, everything's pretty interesting right now. The metagame is as balanced as it's been in a while, and there's really no over-centralizing threats. Yes, you have stuff like Rotom Wash that are everywhere, but as you'll see in this video, there's ways to deal with that. So anyways, I'm going to start this off. I'm going to lead off with Lanturn, which I personally think is such an underrated threat in OU. It's really niche-y is what it is. He's going to lead off with Garchomp. That throws a huge monkey wrench in my plans. I'm predicting him to switch because I'm thinking he's choiced in some way, but no, he just goes for the Rock Slide. I go back into my Lanturn. I have no idea what I'm gonna do here. What's Lanturn gonna do? I figure, okay, I can always just go into Garchomp, right? Alright, well, here's when he obviously goes into Togekiss. Right? I'm gonna go for the Stone Edge. No, he stays in, doesn't do anything. And that was so rough for me. I lose my Scarfer so early in the game, and Garchomp is such an important part of this team. I go here into Alroker, and Tornadus also is something that's underrated. This was actually the first battle I did with Tornadus on this team. I had previously been using some weird supportive Scizor set with Defog. It didn't work well enough because it just wasn't fast enough to be a threat. So plus I needed something that could take ground and fighting moves. Tornadus kind of can do that. He helps take those things out. Either way, I go into Weavile. I figure, okay, Weavile can do some damage to Venusaur, right? No, this thing's so bulky. Venusaur is a big... You look at my team, you see all the things I can hit Venusaur so hard with, but this thing is still a big threat to my team because it's so hard to play around. It's so bulky, it's so powerful. It's just as powerful of an OU threat as they come. Rotom Wash, being the most common Pokemon in the metagame, is kind of something I looked out for. Again, the whole thought process of my team building was build around Pinsir, and everything will be good. Pinsir is a good sweeper or whatever. Everything can help take care of it. Well, Pinsir has a huge problem with Rotom Wash. So I kind of had... And Rotom Wash kind of deals with a lot of things in the tier. So I really had to do some looking to find something. But Lanturn proved to be the perfect thing to take out Rotom Wash. It's not entirely super bulky. It's not going to be your team's primary wall, but it's a nice defensive pivot. And it serves its purpose well, at least on my team. So it's not something you can just slap on any team and expect to be good. But, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. Either way, Tornadus goes down, taking out the Garchomp. I managed to take out the Venusaur. Everything's starting to look up. It's 3-on-3. Maybe I can find some potential matchups here. That Bisharp is still worrying me. Togekiss can be annoying, but I'm not overly concerned about it. And then there's Rotom Wash here, which is the biggest threat right now, because he completely just wrecks Pinsir. And Heatran can't really do anything about it. So I just really got to rely on this Lanturn. I try not to rely too much on Lanturn because, well, it's kind of underwhelming. But at the same time, its niche in OU is absolutely perfect for my team. It completely walls some of the bigger threats. It walls Rotom Wash. It walls Talonflame. It walls other things. It's just efficient, really. It's not a big hitter. It's not gonna wall everything. I looked on the OU validity thread on Smogon. They didn't even list Lanturn. I don't think they did. But this thing, it has its niche. And that's really all it is. It's a niche Pokemon. The best thing, though, it works so well with Pinsir. And Heatran as a third threat in there is pretty nice. And then a revenge killer like Choice Scarf Garchomp is also very effective. Anyways, it's 2-on-2 now after taking out the Togekiss. And this is where things start to get a little sticky, because Rotom Wash is constantly switching out. With I have to keep Lanturn intact too. Here I see the Volt Switch does 30%, which means, alright, I'm in pretty good shape here then. Whatever Bisharp wants to try to do, he's not going to be able to do it as effectively, because he can be pretty well damaged by either of these things I've got. For some reason my computer just blacked out, and that was annoying. But either way, he's got a Thunder Wave, my Pinsir. I was pretty mad because I was just trying to set up, finish this game quick. No, he's gonna Thunder Wave me. Fortunately, Lanturn is still alive, and Lanturn does carry the Heal Bell. Oh man, I mean, Lanturn, it's not usually like over centralizing in a game, but it just really did its job this time. And this is what I like to see when I use underrated Pokemon that aren't necessarily standard, but they have their niche. They just have to find it. And Lanturn has a very weird niche. It's a weird Pokemon to use. But it has its use. And if it has its use, and that use is what you need, why not use it? You know? But he's trying to burn out my Lanturn. I'm just trying to hit things hard with whether it's Discharge or whatever. I've basically just been spamming Discharge, maybe some Volt Switch going on. That's all I've been capable of doing. He's gonna sub up, which is annoying, but it doesn't matter too much because Discharge is still strong enough to break his substitutes. I'm gonna call the Sucker Punch here, go for the Heal Bell, get rid of that burn, heal up a little bit more. He's gonna sub out again. Here okay, I thought I was gonna Volt Switch. Nope, Discharge. And I'm basically just trying to close this game out. I think at this point I've got it in the bag. Here he makes the good prediction though. I was expecting a Sucker Punch. He makes the Iron Head as I go into Pinsir. Here though I made a similar prediction. Predict the Sucker Punch again, but go for the Quick Attack because, well, it's faster. And Sucker Punch fails. So, yeah, again, this game's just winding down. This really shows how much of a threat Pinsir is, because Pinsir's a huge threat in the OU tier. But at the same time, it's somewhat overshadowed by some other things. While Lanturn is a perfect supporter for it, because they just can switch into each other's threats so nicely. You just got to make sure Stealth Rock isn't on the field, which is something my team tries to make sure doesn't get on the field. But yeah, battle ends here. I'm able to take the Sucker Punch, knock him out with the Discharge. And that's a good game. Personoff Showdown. It was a pretty long match also, but, you know, uncharacteristically long for such an offensive team like the one I'm running. Normally my battles are only like 20 turns, maybe at the most 20 turns. But, you know, I just had to do a lot of pivoting in this battle, which that's what I like about my team. It has the freedom to be able to do whatever. They can switch into each other's. They're not necessarily great at switching into each other's threats, but every one of these Pokemon, except for Lanturn, threatens so many things on their own right. I can afford to lose some Pokemon usually, and Lanturn's just there, support things with Heal Bell, be a pivot switch, wall, Rotom, and that's all I need him to do. So that's all he does. And he does it so well. But either way, good game, person. And I hope you all go ahead and check out my channel, subscribe. I'll be uploading plenty. And enjoy for the future. See ya.